Welcome back to another fun-filled day of Rob Liefeld Appreciation Season here on Crypto Comics, all my crypto knights. Now, 2 videos ago, if you recall, we discussed Rob Liefeld's run on Captain America, part of the Heroes Reborn saga from Marvel Comics, when Rob and Jim went back to Marvel to work on Captain America, The Avengers, Fantastic Four, and Iron Man for a year. Rob got canned 6 months into his duties on Captain America. If you watched that video, which you should have watched before you watched this video, you will know I was a huge fan of Rob Liefeld and Jeph Loeb's work on Captain America, and am still extremely disappointed that this run was cut short and I did not get to finish the story I had been investing in for 6 months, and I still hold a grudge against Marvel Comics for it. Now, it sounds like Rob Liefeld held a little bit of a grudge too, because Rob left here at the same time this was happening. Rob had a parting of the ways with Image, so Extreme Studios ceased to exist. Rob was no longer working on Captain America, so what does a young man do? A young man punches back. And how do you punch back against a giant company like Marvel Comics? You create your own damn comic. And that's what Rob did. He went out and he secured the rights to the legendary comic book character, the Fighting American. Now this is what I'm talking about. Rob Liefeld and Jeph Loeb team up with Stephen Platt to tell this story. What's the story? I'm going to tell you the story. Here we go. Transformed by science to become America's premier super soldier, John Flegg led the battle for freedom during the Cold War in an effort to prevent the spread of communism throughout the free world. Following one of the greatest losses of his career, however, John Flegg retired his costume, leaving behind a legacy of heroism paralleled by few. Story by Rob Liefeld. Jeph Loeb would have handled the dialogue. Rob Liefeld and Stephen Platt the pencils. John Sabal and Joe Weems the fifth would handle the inks. Colors by Awesome Colors, which I'm going to go ahead and say is that used to be Extreme Color Studios. Now it's Awesome Colors. Edited by Eric Stevenson with plot assists by Stephen Platt. Fighting American was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. This issue is dedicated to Mark Waid and Ron Garney. Inspiration was Eric Larson. And for those of you who watched the Judgment Day review yesterday here on Crypto Comics, you will know that Eric Larson's Savage Dragon was an instrumental part of the beginning of the Awesome Universe. Good evening. This is Radio Free Europe broadcasting on July 4th, 1954, Independence Day in the United States of America, reaching out to all the countries behind the Iron Curtain, but in particular to all of our friends and allies back in communist Russia. Papa, what is it now, boy? There is work to be done. This is translated from the Russian. Eric to read. There is work to be done. Boom! Run, boy. Call for help. Someone may be injured? What? Crazy alien. Papa didn't want me to see. But whatever that was, it didn't come from this planet. Hello, police? We need an ambulance right now. Yes, we understand. Help is already on the way. Sergeant, round up all of these peasants. Yes, Colonel. And Sergeant, I mean everyone. Who was it that reported this incident? That's Colonel Kasanov, the one they call the Iron Cross. What is he doing out here, all the way from Moscow? You'd best answer him, boy. I did, Colonel. Good lad. Smart lad. Russia needs more enterprising young men like yourself. What all of you have seen is an American spy plane, which we were tracking and shot down over Russian airspace. Because of the high probability that there were atomic weapons on board, for your own safety and protection, we need all of you to get into the Red Cross truck, so that we can make certain you weren't exposed to any harmful radiation. This is already starting to feel like, when they screwed the Southern boys in Outlaw Josie Wales. Sergeant, sir, I want this handled effortlessly. Yes, sir. We need everyone to move quickly and quietly. Radiation? Damn Americans want to kill us all. That's it. All the way in the back. There's plenty of room. Everybody comfortable? Click, clack. Buru, 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 buru. Colonel Kasanov, Moscow is on the line, sir. Well done, Sergeant. Everything is secured. This is Radio Free Europe, concluding our broadcast day. And remember, wherever you are, let freedom ring. July 4th, 1997. London, Moscow, Paris. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom! National Security War Room, the Pentagon, Washington, D.C. Tell me I'm looking at one of those Hollywood disaster movies, soldier. No, sir, General Cole, sir. We're getting high-intensity laser fire from unknown airspace. CIA has decoded some sort of the transmission. Someone calling themselves the Red Menace? The Red? Dear Lord. We're going to need help with this one. We're going to need the Fighting American. This is WKOW coming at you out of Wichita, Kansas with a little ditty from our outlaw pals Waylon and Willie. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them play guitars or drive them old trucks. Let them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mamas, don't let you whoop, 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 whoop. Uh-oh. Oh, Hip Flask, the private hippopotamus. If you actually know if Hip Flask ever had a real comic, I've always wondered this. This is actually for comicbookfonts.com, Comic Craft, if you will. They used to sell fonts for really, really outrageous prices. Like you could get all three of these fonts for $119. Imagine a world, kids, where that was what it took to get your comic book lettered. Holy cannoli. Now you just go to defont.com or 1000fonts.com and you can get all the fonts you want for free. John Flegg. It's been a long time. Not long enough. John, haven't you heard? Half the world's gone up in smoke and the other half, I don't hear much out here. And I like it that way. Damn, John. Looks like you haven't aged a day. The country needs you. This is something only you can get a handle on. It's the Iron Cross, John. Ooh, deadly stare. He's mad. Whoa! Good evening. This is Radio Free Europe, broadcasting on August 2nd, 1954. Reaching out for all the countries behind the Iron Curtain, but in particular to all our friends and allies back in communist Russia. The War Department denied today that America has any participation in the liberation of the tiny village some 100 miles south of Stalingrad. But as our listeners know, wherever the communist threat of oppression rears its head, a fighting American can't be too far behind. When are you commies going to learn? It's like bowling. One ball, right down the middle, and everything falls down. Strike! Wow. Bowling. Great fun. Or don't they have fun here in Russia? Okay. I've had enough for one day. That butcher Iron Cross and his men put up the good fight. Let's just have a look and see what's worth leveling this little village. Empty. All this bloodshed. And whatever was here, they've already moved it. Dead kid. Just a kid. Had a life and dreams. And a girl he left behind. When are we ever gonna learn? But you killed him. The Russians didn't kill this kid. You just killed him. You had a great time. You're like, oh, it's just like bowling. Strike! I blew the hell out of all the Ruskies. Now I'm sad about it. What? Okay, well, I guess you're not really feeling conflicted enough for me, John. You think you'd be upset because you did that, but well, maybe not. It's just a dirty commie. John Flegg killed a commie for mommy. Better dead than red, right? This is Radio Free Europe. Word from Moscow is that the rebel uprising in the tiny village near Stalingrad has been resolved peacefully. Maybe our communist friends are starting to act a little civilized after all. Now, aboard the U.S. Army Helijet, codenamed Strike Force. Still fits. Only the man inside has changed. We took that into account. That's why you'll be teamed with a partner on this one. This is Nelson. He works in artificial intelligence. I work alone. Not anymore, you don't. And you could plow the wheat from here to Kansas and you still wouldn't find anybody like our Spice. Spice? What's up, Pops? Pops? I'm just your basic state-of-the-art titanium alloy Pentium processor-driven weapon of mass destruction. So, what are you? Not amused. See? And for those of you who say Rob Liefeld can't draw feet, hello. Hello. It's all fake news. I'm telling you, it's people that didn't even read Rob Liefeld comics in the 90s say that. I had a partner once. I scanned the file. Speed Boy, right? You'll see a difference. And you'll stay back and follow my lead. I'm not going to lose. John, Skull Island coming up fast. Prepare to evac. The boys in intelligence pinpoint the laser fire coming from here. The Red Menace has threatened annihilation of either Washington or New York City in the next 10 minutes. So it's up to you, John, to put a fork in this madness and tell them it's done. He's got a floating Skull Island? I don't know how else to describe this. Remember, you hold back and tell, race you down. What's the matter, Pops? Afraid you can't keep up? Only the man inside has changed. That's what I told them, after years of sitting out on the sidelines, letting others like Supreme and Glory take the front guard. And all in one moment, General Cole says the Iron Cross, and I answer the call. Hold on 1 second. I gotta check something. Okay. Interesting comparison, wouldn't you say? Is it as simple as no one knows the Iron Cross like I do? Do I honestly believe that America needs me? Or is it that I want that to happen so badly that I have to believe it? And where does that leave the promise that I made? There will be consequences for my actions today. People who didn't want me back on the battlefield. And every fiber of my body tells me that they can all be hanged, leaving no one to speak for the one boy I made that promise to. What would you say to me on this day, Tommy? Who speaks for you when fighting America fights again? All those years at my side, the trust you put in me. Don't you deserve better than me being out here today? My young friend, my partner, Speed Boy. Nope, but you'll come to admire me just the same. The name is Spice, S-P-I-C-E. Super prototype intelligent cyborg entity. There's nobody like me. Deadeye sighting up to 1,000 yards. Gyroscopic inner balance for perfect acrobatics. And a memory chip that can mimic any movement you show me. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Do you think that's a big ego talking? My titanium frame can withstand cannon fire, rocket fire, and most laser fire. Arm extensions out to 12 feet. I can pretty much bench press anything you throw at me. Fluent in every known language in the world. I can laugh, cry, and react emotionally as required. All that and minty fresh breath. I love Spice. This is a great character. Truly. And that's how you do things in the 21st century. Feeling it. So what do you say, Pops? Now can you see the difference between me and that kid you used to? Spice, we need to talk. Now. It's okay. You're impressed with the way I kick butt, right? Wrong. I'm not impressed. You're reckless, wild, and you don't listen. Look, I get the job done. How can you have a problem with that? I don't know anything about you. I haven't scanned your file, as you would put it. So, for all I know, I'm just talking to a machine who's programmed to get in the way. Hey, I just want to help. Fine, then you can start by saying, whoa! You want to help? You can start by dying. Next, Iron Cross, Red Menace, Smash. What's going on here? Let's find out. The fighting spirit of Rob Liefeld. I got angry. I felt it direct me and focus me. So what do Fighting America, Heroes Reborn, and Todd McFarlane have in common? Aside from any connection I might have had with any of them in the past, present, or future, the answer is anger. Allow me to explain. Let's go back about 5 years to the formation of Image Comics. At the time, it seemed like we had all made the right move at the right time, and we were all enjoying great sales and success. We got together a lot in those early days, and whenever we did, it was obvious that one amongst us was much more hostile and angry than the rest. It should come as no surprise to anyone that that individual was Todd McFarlane. At the time, I just didn't get it. Why was Todd so angry? I just couldn't relate. I was 23 years old and, quite frankly, felt like I had hit the jackpot. I felt as if the whole world was my oyster and I couldn't get enough. Fame, fortune, notoriety, The American dream wrapped up in one snappy little package, and I was only 5 years out of high school. Little did I know at the time, the school of hard knocks was lurking right around the corner. I would always step back and look at Todd and how angry he was. Sometimes he was just plain seething. Most of it was directed at Marvel Comics. He ranted and raged, but through it all, he succeeded past anyone's expectations. I watched Todd harness his anger into an aggressive energy, and it helped him sharpen his focus into a deadly blade. A few years later, I wandered back into a business arrangement with Marvel Comics by way of a project called Heroes Reborn. I knew from the beginning that it would be controversial and that I would take the lion's share of the heat. I also knew that it would succeed beyond expectations and find its voice with the fans, and it did succeed, tremendously. The fans reacted in a frenzy, scooping up every copy, and not just the first collectible issues, but each and every one thereafter. Its success threatened the mucky mucks at Marvel, who set about quickly dismantling a very promising future. And they succeeded in an instant. The project went to crap, and, as usual, the ones who suffered the greatest were you, the fans. I saw the disappointment in your faces, and I shared in your anger. For me, it was just more bad press. What else is new? For the fan, it was an emotional and financial investment that very quickly went sour. To all those fans whom I met this past summer in Pittsburgh, Oakland, Chicago, and San Diego, let me say thank you. Thank you for your support and for your kind words of encouragement. We wouldn't be here if not for you, and I am sorry that Marvel cheapened Heroes Reborn. In the wake of it all, I got angry, and for the first time in ages, I understood Todd's anger. I felt it direct me and focus me. It grows every day and I thrive on it. Sometimes I can feel that twitch of madness that I see behind Todd's eyes. It's both cool and scary at the same time. I focused my energies on this book that you now hold in your hands, Fighting American, Simon and Kirby Classic. Things just couldn't get any better than this. Until Marvel showed up crying foul. If you only knew the lengths to which Marvel has gone to make sure this book would not make it into your hands. Lawyers, lawsuits, harassment, more anger, more fuel. Keep it up, Marvel. At this rate, I'll be able to take on a nuclear warhead, which is the only logical place to go after taking on the combined forces of Image Comics and Marvel Entertainment. Ain't it cool? So there's the connection. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this book as much as we did bringing it to you. My sincerest thanks to Roz Kirby and Joe Simon for making this possible. Carry on. Rob. Wow. I love it. Wow. There you go. This is a moment in time. So let's talk about why Marvel decided to sue. Oh, so Supreme and Coven. Coming up. Oh, kaboom. Coming up. So the reason they decided to sue him, first and foremost, I don't think it was because of Fighting American. I think it was because Rob launched a comic book character of his own creation called Agent America, who looked just like this. And this is, I think, what inspired. I could be wrong. You know, this is purely speculation. But I think that Marvel's lawsuits are what caused Rob to say, well, let's just license the rights to Fighting America, and then they can't come after me for Agent America, because Fighting America is a character previously created many, many years ago. And so I assume that is what he did to get out of lots of trouble with Marvel. But we got to keep going here, don't we? Because it's time for Fighting America Part 2. I'm going to just get right into this. 1 mile above the Earth, death rides the sky. A technological nightmare comprised of a floating laser arsenal known as Skull Island. Moscow, Paris, London. All have been attacked. All at once, a life John Flegg had turned away from was staring him back in the face. Once again, he would be Fighting American. Times have changed. Fighting American. The world in which you gained fame is gone. But it's still a world worth destroying all the same. Smash! Teamed up with him, not by his choice, is Spice, a walking amalgamation of weapons of mass destruction, wrapped in a package looking like a 16-year-old girl. Spice, you're capable of some kind of spot analysis, right? That's what you do, isn't it? I can look it up in the yellow pages like anyone else, Pops. The Tin Man's voice patterns match Colonel Vladimir Kasanov, the Iron Cross. But his body is some kind of alloy that's not registering on the periodic table. And don't even ask about the purple thing that just appeared. I see you have acquired a new sacrificial lamb. Sending Speed Boy to the gallows wasn't enough blood on your hands. Whatever you've got, you'd best bring it on, Cross, 'cause I'm gonna tear you limb from limb. Smash! Bring it on? We're dealing with a 7,000-pound gorilla, possibly alien in origin, and your seasoned battle experience is to bring it on? Ugh! His reaction is instinctual, if not remarkable. His mind racing, quelling the rage that has long been bottled. Instantly, he knows if he is going to survive, he is going to need to use the tools at hand. And he will survive. With this many unknown factors on the field, I don't have any choice but to trust you, Spice. Your confidence in me is overwhelming. Nevertheless, if you can keep this smash occupied, I've got a better idea. Let's see what American technology can do against the wonderful folks who brought you that scientific marvel known as the Mir Space Station. Eat this, you wingnut! Spice! On the job, F.A., this guy's gonna be a set of pots and pans before dinner. Child, your initial assessment of the alien origins of your enemy is surprisingly accurate. Polymorphic alloy, capable of shape-shifting to withstand any physical assault. I've let you tag me once today, creature. It won't happen again. Purple Hulk mad. You're nothing more than a mindless beast, and if you can't be tamed, you gotta be put down. Not beast. Madder smash gets, bigger smash gets. My God, you can speak. And judging from your New York accent, what did those commie rats do to you? Don't know if this'll make a difference, but these promethium stars have been dipped in tranquilizer. One is enough to bring down an elephant. Let's see what a dozen will do. Chuck, 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 chuck. Nothing can smash. I guess the old dog still has a few new tricks, eh, Pops? Now, Cross, time to learn that you're not the only one with access to polymorphs. And this is your stop. So it's time to get off. Incredible. Can your diagnostic systems be that unsophisticated? What? That the same alien technology that has kept me alive since 1954, that built everything you see around you, including this body frame, is the same as yours. Youch! This truth is always painful. Pity there was much we could have accomplished together. Only if you were rebuilt as a can opener. Humor, a program I would have deleted. Not that it matters. Our mission is accomplished. Fighting American has returned. A hero reborn, only to die. Get it? A hero reborn. Ha 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 ha. Guess I do have some humor after all. Oh, pain like nobody's business. I'm changing back. That nightmare's over. They took away my life. Made me into that monster, for Christ's sakes. Say, Flag, is that you? What year is this? General Kurtz? It's 1997, sir. You've been missing for some time. But then again, so have I. Kurtz, another casualty of war. There are those who will tell you that war is hell, and to them I'd say they've never been to hell. Because even if hell is some kind of 3,000-degree furnace where demons and devils wage battle for your soul, it would be a day at the beach compared to watching a few, a dozen, 100 fresh-faced youngsters who shouldn't be doing anything more than going out for long fly baseball or making out at the local drive-in theater, and instead they're being fitted for a body bag somewhere far away from home. Ooh, that's my favorite right there. Boom, look at that. Very reminiscent of Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. It didn't matter which war this was, or what two-bit despot wanted to tip over the balance of democracy for his own means. Eventually, we'd have to go in. Admittedly, saddling up on a 500-megaton bomb could be cited as being just this side of being a few pennies short of $1. But it makes an impression, that's for damn sure. And when they've given you the title Fighting American, you'd better spit lightning and crap thunder. Or at least, I thought so at the time. It was always going to be one last mission. Like when they told us that the First World War was going to be the war to end all wars. But you didn't question orders. Or try not to let the fear in the enemy's eyes get to you. You wore the flag. The American flag. You got the job done. And what a job it was. There are times I was so caught up in the act itself, I'd forget the cost, the price at which it came. America needed a symbol, I was told. A shining light for others to follow. A single beam to cut a path through the darkness that was the communist threat. For where one country fell into their grip, another was sure to follow. The domino effect. Like the children's game where one piece toppled the other. Only this wasn't a game. John Flegg ceased to exist. A scientific experiment that would never be repeated, at least to my knowledge, created a new kind of soldier. Incredible strength, unbelievable acrobatic skill, frightening speed. They told me it was the fire in my heart that stoked my love of country, that made it all work. So I guess, when that fire dimmed, they got a little worried. After all, what good's a fighting American who doesn't want to fight? It was already 1954. Something had to be done. General Kurtz, he's here. Well, don't keep him waiting, son. Show him in. General? Damn. Wait till Joe hears about this. Sir? Senator McCarthy. He's a big fan. And it's Jack, son. The BS is for the rest of them. Do you mind if I ask what this is all about? There's somebody I want you to meet. Somebody who might be able to help you with your problems. Problems? The Tommy Landis situation. Begging your pardon, sir, but Speedboy is my problem, not the U.S. Army's. I'm not the enemy, John, and Major Barron can be a real help to you. Major Blake Barron? That's the name. Don't wear it out. There's the original Fighting American right there. Oh, that's Speedboy. Oh, let's flip this bad boy this way. Although I'm kind of partial to the moniker they gave me in WW2, Battlin' Baron. If you'll recall, Battlin' Baron was featured in Judgment Day, which we reviewed yesterday. So you're John Flegg. Heard a lot about you. Kind of like you mystery men. Phantom Aviator was a pal. So they're going to make friends and they're going to team up, right? These are the Roaring Roughnecks who he's going to team with. They helped me through some rough times, and I owe that all to General Kurtz. Major Blake Barron was killed in a car crash in 1972. His body burned beyond recognition. Was he? Check out Judgment Day number 3, Final Judgment. See, I didn't share that one with you because I didn't want to give you any spoilers. You got to track down that Judgment Day 3-issue miniseries by Alan Moore. Excellent story, especially Youngblood fans. Check it out for sure. It will blow your mind if you're a Youngblood fan. Today. Guys, my sensors indicate that all weapon systems are set on auto-destruct, so unless the two of you want to become, dead, I'd say it's time to book. She grabs them both and, shoots off of the island, and it explodes. Soon, aboard the U.S. Army Helijet, codenamed Strike Force. Incredible. So the Iron Cross's entire plan was to draw the Fighting American out of retirement. All that destruction. Everybody needs a hobby. And I'm sure the Red Menace was there for one moment, only to find that smashed creature in the next, General Cole. You had us worried, John. I was ready to send in the Allies. Good to see you again, Flegg. Verily, thy heart doth speak the truth. For too long the Thunder God hast not fought at thy side. This world doth need a Fighting American. The Allies, huh? I guess I have missed a few things. It's good to see you all wound up in the right hands. So that's it? The Iron Cross is still out there. Let's go kick some butt. What do you think, F.A.? What do I think, Spice? I'm going home. The Iron Cross said it best. Times have changed. The world in which I gained fame is gone. Y'all can handle it from here, because I quit. What? Say it ain't so, Flegg. To find out what happens next, you must read Fighting American, Rules of the Game #1, featuring the first awesome artistic appearance of Ed Deadpool McGuinness. speak of the devil, there is Ed Deadpool McGinnis's art right there. Coven, yeah, we're definitely going to cover Coven. Judgment Day, already did. More Fighting American. Coven and Kaboom. There's Hip Flask again. Please, somebody explain to me what the heck is going on. Was that ever a comic? This is just a poster. Oh, let's see what this says. Jeph and Rob and the Awesome Crew. This was written by Jim Simon. I want to let you know that Joe and I feel your launch of the new Fighting American is real exciting and holds great promise. We're blown away by the energy you guys are putting into this project. From the art to the story to the paper and the coloring, you're delivering a totally explosive package. And so far as I know, Joe and Roz could not be happier with the way you guys are pumping new life into the Fighting A. Plus, Joe told me he finds it a real pleasure dealing with you guys. Here's a bit of comic book history your readers might find interesting. Joe and Jack created the original Fighting American in the 1950s, as everyone knows. Joe and Jack had created Captain America, published by Marvel. So when they started their own publishing house, it was their opportunity to create another patriotic superhero. But this time they would keep ownership of their character. Don't you think that it's kind of interesting that Rob had revived Marvel's 1990s Captain America and now is pumping new life into another Simon and Kirby creation, the Fighting American? Kind of similar to what Joe and Jack did. You know, in the 1950s, Fighting American outlasted Captain America in the publishing ring. When the first issue of Awesome's Fighting America came out, I checked out the comic stores here in New York City. The issue was a complete sell-through. Do I detect something here? Like possibly a particular piece of comic book history repeating itself? By the way, all these comic shop owners tried to order additional copies, but couldn't get a hold of them. So be sure to print plenty of comics this time. And now, with the start of a totally new Fighting American story arc, I'm depending on you guys to deliver each issue every time and on time. Fans demand that their comics be on the stands when promised. No one wants to wait and wait for the next installment in a storyline, especially when it comes to the new version of the Fighting American. So go to it, Jeph and Rob and everyone else at Awesome. Pump it up with a Fighting A. With best regards, Joe Simon. So, oh, there's that. It's that Prophet action figure. How about that? So where do you go from here? Well, if you're a big fan of the Fighting American, you're going to start by reading the rules of the game after this. You get the 2-issue initial Fighting American miniseries, followed by this 3-issue Rules of the Game miniseries, featuring art by Ed McGuinness. From there, you go to the 3-issue miniseries Dogs of War. And that is going to round out Fighting American as imagined by Rob Liefeld and Jeph Loeb. And there are a couple other little bonus things you can pick up. You can pick up the very, very rare Agent America preview book, which is what got the lawsuit with Marvel churning. I don't even own that. That is like the rarest of the rare. And then there is a really cool little special Comic-Con edition of Fighting America #1. This is just a preview book. It has just a lot of breakdowns, black and white pages. It's just kind of like a little tease, really, more than it is an actual comic book. There's not a story featured in this at all. But it is something you can add to your collection if you're a Rob Liefeld fan. So, I hope that you have enjoyed this look at Rob Liefeld's Fighting American as much as I enjoyed going back into this comic book series and checking it out again for the first time in close to 20 years. If you liked this video, please click that share button, let your friends know what Rob Liefeld Appreciation Season on Crypto Comics is all about. Then hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, hit the ding dong for notifications. And I'm coming back tomorrow with another one of the more popular series, more popular characters introduced to us all through Awesome Entertainment. Stick around because we're just getting started on Rob Liefeld Appreciation Season here on Crypto Comics.